reviewing the project implementing Epic MyChart for Diagnostic Imaging Associates for the class Project Management, presented today by Madison Black, Christopher Freeman, and Leanne Pucci. A little bit about Diagnostic Imaging Associates. They are located in Valparaiso, Indiana, in the new Midtown Medical Center. They have seen 15,000 patients in the past 5 years, and they currently have 5,000 patients that require long-term care of a year or more. The radiology clinic is quickly growing and currently is comprised of 7 doctors, 3 nurses, 7 technicians, 3 administrative staff, and 2 front office personnel. The project we are considering is implementing Epic MyChart module, which will allow patients to check and upload their own records, download their diagnostics, images, and test results, as well as communicate with the doctors via secure messaging. The project team consists of Sonia Struber, the project manager, Scott Walsh, Epic MyChart application specialist, Jennifer Hansen, Imaging Associates Manager, Chris Freeman, Imaging Associates Project Manager, Madison Black, Imaging Associates Project Manager, Leanne Pucci, Project Manager, Nancy Hardesty, the Epic IT Lead, Robert Clark, IT Software Lead, Jessica Carver, IT Software Assistant, and Melissa Downey, International Services Manager. The needs of this project are: it must be up and running within 8 weeks. The project has an initial budget of $330,500. The scope of the project. The scope for this project is compliance with all applicable laws and guidelines. We want to ensure full high-tech and stage 1 meaningful use compliance. Out of scope is software development, full eScript integration, as well as custom hardware configuration. Goals and objectives for this project is to successfully implement Epic MyChart software with the appropriate training necessary. The web portal must be running properly and efficiently within 8 weeks. We need to allow patients to update and check their records, download their diagnostic images, and test results. They also should be able to effectively communicate with the doctors via secure messaging. Our key success indicators are that the Epic MyChart software will have a connectivity lag of under 2 seconds. All staff members have had 10 hours of training involving the new software, and the web portal must allow patients the ability to access their health information, the ability to add information, and to save up to 5,000 characters. Some risks for the project include: if the network capability is not appropriate, then additional hours and resources will be needed to update the network before going live. If current data cannot be integrated, employees will need to manually transfer data, adding to our timeline. If IT help is not available, then the product launch may be delayed if questions cannot be answered in a reasonable time. Our project timeline. Our initiation phase, which consisted of completing the stakeholder registry, project charter, and proposal, went from March 7th, 2019 to March 15th, 2019. Our planning phase, where we needed to identify requirements, the network, the legal requirements, the software, work with data integration, and staffing, went from March 18th to March 28th. Our execution phase, where we needed to install the software, work with data integration, training, as well as getting the network up, lasted from March 28th to May 19th. And finally, closure on May 19th, combined with supporting activities such as monitoring, controlling, risk management, and stakeholder management. Some of our requirements were that it must be fully capable and compliant network for Epic software. We needed network connectivity that would support the patient-provider relationship. Placement of computers discussed with staff prior to install. The VPN network had to be established. We needed our new Epic MyChart network connectivity speed to be at least 3 times the speed of the current version. Initial basic training needed to be performed, as well as staff members able to show competency in using Epic MyChart. We needed to be compliant with all patient privacy guidelines. We would need to be able to support at least 10 users at a time, and we had discussed ideal lunch time with staff and agreed upon this. We needed our connectivity lag of under 2 seconds, adequate amount of computers or tablets. Patients were made aware of the changes and that there would be possible delays to the system. Software needed to be fully functioning in 8 weeks. Each computer must be HIPAA compliant, and assistance would be available during launch and post-launch.
Next, we will see a comparison between what was planned and what actually happened between priorities such as the scheduled deadline, scope, and our project's budget. Our project's original scope was to be in compliance with all applicable laws and guidelines. We also made it a priority to ensure full high-tech and stage 1 meaningful use compliance. We did have to add some changes that were then approved. A change to completion date was approved due to a delay in shipping materials. An additional change to completion date was approved due to a delay in stopping current workflow. This was caused from emergency cases being treated by Diagnostic Imaging Associates. On this slide, we can see that the original scheduled deadline was a little different than the actual completion date. The completion deadline was originally set to April 22nd, 2019, but ended up actually being completed on April 26, 2019. Luckily, this wasn't a longer time frame, and this was easily managed. Here we can see different costs, which shows the original budget versus the actual cost of completing our project. Our original estimate was significantly higher than our actual cost and scheduled budget. With our initial estimate being so high at $330,500, our scheduled budget became much less than that at $51,349. The actual cost of completing the project ended up being $200 more than the scheduled budget at $51,549. On this slide, we can see a variety of tests that were needed to be approved for our project to be successful. Testing was planned for connectivity lag, which was then completed, passed, and approved. Testing was completed and planned and completed for staff competency with MyChart, which was passed and approved. Testing was planned for web portal functionality, which was also passed and approved. Testing was planned for the establishment of VPN, which was passed and approved. Testing was also planned for HIPAA compliance, which was passed and approved. Lastly, testing was planned for software functionality, which was also passed and approved. Luckily, we only had one outstanding issue that arose during the completion of our project. We had one workstation that began having issues with the software system. Nancy Hardesty, our Epic MyChart IT lead, is currently working to fix this issue. The expected date of completion is set to be April 29th. As of right now, ongoing support is not required.
Several things compose our project documentation list. The first being user manuals. The client was given the Epic MyChart manual as well as the patient user manual brochure. The user manual brochure will be handed out to patients so that they can reference that and learn to use this new program to access all of their information. The Epic MyChart manual is a very detailed document going through all of the fine print of the actual software program. The training materials that were given were the MyChart Quick Reference Guide, which allowed associates to reference this for quick reminders on using the software. They were also given the VPN troubleshooting guide team to reference certain common issues that arise with VPNs. Documentation, which was composed of scheduled software updates, It also was composed of operating system requirements for the use of the software. Certain things, for example, such as Internet Explorer and Adobe, only certain versions are compatible at this time, and that will change as updates progress. Another thing that they received was the information on the required amount of storage space for the use of the software. The project outcome has been measured against its acceptance criteria and has been fully accepted by the client and their representatives. This was approved, so the project then proceeded to closure. With closing, there is one current issue that is still pending resolution, which is that workstation that was not supporting the software. That should be resolved in the next few days. Maintenance documentation has been reviewed and will be delivered by the end of next week. We wanted this documentation to be reviewed by our IT team before it actually goes into use. And Diagnostic Imaging Associates has expressed satisfaction with the project and the software. It's been a pleasure working on this project, and we hope to do future projects with Diagnostic Imaging Associates.